Oh my god. Okay, this is very embarrassing. I did not know that my microphone was actually not on. Oh my god. Thanks, guy in the comments. That's my friend Thomas. I'm really glad you said that. I did not know that was going on. That was pretty unprofessional. I apologize for that. Holy shit! I'm not sure if you guys know what I was saying all this time. That's really bad. Uh, I think I have to start from the beginning again. This is really bad. I was almost done. Shit. Okay, okay, I can do this. I can do this real quick. I'm gonna take off the shirt. I have a lot of sweat going on right now. This is very embarrassing. I'm apologize for that. It will not happen again. I will test this next time. Sorry. Microphone was off. I have it now all installed. I forgot about that. I have a different microphone and I forgot to turn it. I forgot to switch the whole instructions. Sorry. Very unprofessional. It will not happen again. Um. Okay. I hate to do this, but I think I have to start over then. I will not start completely from the beginning, but as you guys know, this is a video where I talk about the characters who I think may or may not die on the show. We'll go do this quicker than I did then before, but I don't want to go into it too big. Okay, so Negan thought this guy would die because he is a rebellion and all. He goes into big bad ways. So we'll have to see what happens. I have my audio back on right now. I hope it is fine. I'm sorry, I've been going on with this like 30, almost 40 minutes without audio. That's pretty bad, unprofessional. I'm sorry about that. But let's just move on. Let's not focus on that. So Negan. Negan is a great character. I really like him a lot. And I don't want him to die. I honestly had these thoughts inside of me because he would die in some kind of peace way that people would like. Well, we'll have to wait and see. But I think that he actually makes it out alive and will survive to the end and gets his happy ending and will settle down, get some kind of will go on has his own lonely way of having stuff. He's gonna get his a happy ending and settle down as some kind of house, just like in the comics. I think that's what's gonna happen. Then with Raja, I always thought that this guy would die during some kind of conflict battle because he's a badass and all. I really like his character, but I honestly don't know if that's gonna happen. Still, I actually think that he will actually maybe survive. I think that it will actually happen. He will survive because he has a lot of fans right now. I actually don't think that he will die, honestly. I think he will be fine, actually. Okay, then we have Gabriel. Gabriel is someone who I actually think that may die eventually. I always had these thoughts inside of me that maybe he will die, maybe he won't die. There have been a lot of foreshadowing to his death. He has been close to death encounters and all. And I don't know if he would eventually die or not. I love for him to just be alive and survive it all. We'll have to wait and see. But I like his character. I would like for him to live to the end. But I honestly still have this false assignment with me that he will get killed eventually because there have been so much foreshadowing and close to that moment. So I think that Gabriel may die eventually on the show. We'll have to see. So in this video, I'll talk about who or may not die on the show before it ends. These are all the possible options. If you think you have someone you think may or may not die, write it down in the live chat and I will talk about that character real quick. If you have something else with the Walking Dead or just have some kind of question, just write it down in the live chat. I would love to hear about it. Maybe we can discuss it. And I will get to that at the end of the live stream. I first want to talk about what I have planned, and if you guys want to tell me something, ask me something, then I will talk about that somewhere in the middle or at the end of the video. But we'll move on. We have Rosita. I always thought that maybe she will have some kind of a big uh, death where she sacrificed herself for the greater good God in some kind of badass way that will be done in a great uh, action stuff and all. I honestly don't know what's gonna happen with that. I'm hoping that the Lucy time will be just fine, but we'll have to wait and see. Um, I think that she's actually just gonna be fine, honestly. I actually think that maybe she gets her happy ending with her daughter. I think that Gabriel will die, so that will not be maybe that of a happy ending. But I do think that she will get her happy ending with Coco, and there will be a big 20-year time jump where she will settle down, have her happy life and all, and she will be this big grandma, and she will be old and all, and she will look at her daughter from the garden who is training and looking like a badass, and just like her mom, showing off some pretty badass moves. Or maybe the time jump will be a lot bigger than the comics. Maybe she will be a big grandma and her daughter will have a family and a child and all. We'll have to see how it all goes, but I actually think that maybe Rosita gets her happy ending after all. That she will survive. I always had this thoughts inside of me that she will die, but I actually honestly think right now she will be just fine. Then we have Aaron. Okay, Aaron, I don't know what's gonna happen with him, honestly. I always thought that there will be some kind of big stuff going on with him. I always thought that he will go down uh, during some big conflict. But now it honestly looks like he may take over the Rick storylines from the comics. He's starting to take over his look. He has his beard, and he doesn't have an arm just like Rick in the comics. And also he starts to become some kind of leader. So maybe he will become a new he will take over the Rick stories from the comics and become some kind of a leader there and be set in the middle of the whole war. He wants to keep peace between the people there, but also wants the Commonwealth to handle things differently. But he doesn't want the things to get out of hand. So um, I honestly don't know if that's gonna happen on the show. I hope. I think that that may gonna happen. I think that is going to happen. I think that's what's gonna start to look like right now. I think that Aaron will take over as the new Rick on the show, and will maybe get also his comic book death gets shot by Sebastian. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, I would love to see it all happening. It will be a pretty interesting and cool way for him to die, to go out like that, get the Rick death from the comics, and be shot in the head as a walker by Gracie instead of being killed by Cole in the comics with Rick and all. If you want to see that whole storyline, you have to go out and check it out for yourself. But honestly, it just comes down to the point where Rick stands in the middle and gets killed by Sebastian in the process, and then Carl has to shoot him when he reanimates. And I actually think that something similar will go down like that's only done with Aaron, and then Crazy will shoot him instead of Carl, because we don't have Carl and Rick on the show anymore. Then we have Magna. Okay, Magna. I always thought that she would do something stupid and all, that she will go out in some kind of rebellion, stupid ways, and I honestly think that it will still happen on the show. I don't think that she's gonna like the whole Commonwealth stuff, how they handle things. I actually think that she will go up against Commonwealth, become part of the Resistance, and will go out of hand, and maybe get the Dwight death from the comics, where she gets shot by Rick instead of Rick. It will be Aaron, because he takes over the Rick storylines, and in the comics, Dwight uh, is kind of losing control and turning insane and wants to kill Pamela, and all goes out of hand. Eventually, Rick has no choice but to kill Dwight, and in the show, it will go a little bit different. I think that Magna will lose her way and try to kill Pamela or something, and then Aaron maybe shoots her. We'll have to wait and see, or maybe she will shoot Lance. I don't know how the Commonwealth storyline will go down. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But I honestly think that Magna will die in some stupid rebellion way. Okay, then we have Connie and Kelly. Okay, I don't think anything will happen to the sisters up to this point. I always had this mind, and I always had these thoughts inside of me that maybe one of them dies, or they will both be fine. We'll have to wait and see. But I also think up to this point that they will both be fine. I think that they will both become reporters at the Commonwealth, and maybe they will write about how bad the Commonwealth is. Maybe they will become part of the resistance. Oh, sorry about that. I'm really sorry. But I honestly think that maybe they will both be fine. I honestly think that maybe one of them dies because they get themselves in trouble because they write about the bad shit in the comics, the Commonwealth. We'll have to see what happens. Maybe one of them dies in the process because they do something stupid and become part of the rebellion and share stories around the Commonwealth about the Commonwealth actually not being a good place at all, being actually a bad place. It looks good, but actually it's bad from the inside. So they will kind of start rebellion maybe, and then maybe one of them gets killed in the process, gets executed, or we'll have to wait and see what happens, or maybe one of them dies on a run and gets devoured by walkers. I always thought that Connie would get killed because we have the Daryl and Carol spin-off coming up, and it would be weird for Daryl to leave Connie while he goes on his own adventure when they are in a relationship. I know that they're not officially in a relationship yet, so maybe that will never happen. Maybe they will just become friends. But I'm hoping that something will happen, and then maybe then Connie will die, and then Carol and Daryl will get their own show. But honestly, I honestly don't know what's gonna happen. I actually think that maybe Connie makes it out alive, and Kelly too, and that Dill and Connie may have some kind of romance going on that they will eventually turn into something that it doesn't work really, that they work better as friends, and then they will stay friends. I honestly think that's gonna happen. I want them to have a love relationship, but maybe I think honestly, if I look at how it's gonna happen with the spin-off of Daryl and Carol, that she will just be someone who gets her own, um, who just gets a short-lived relationship with Daryl, and then they will both go their separate ways and just be friends. Yes, I actually think that that's gonna happen. I think that both Kelly and Connie will be just fine. Then we have Luke and Jules. Okay, I always thought that these two will go out as a kind of Romeo and Juliet way, that they will not die or live for all, but maybe one of them dies, maybe they both die in battle. But honestly, up to this point, it kind of happens out of nowhere for them to die. That would be out of nowhere at all. I always thought that if they would die during the Whisper War, but that didn't happen. So I honestly think that they will just be fine both and then get their happy ending during the time jump. Okay, then we have Cindy and Rachel, the two leaders of Oceanside. I'm not sure if Oceanside is gonna come back in season 11. I hope so. I don't. I hope the show doesn't forget about that. But I hope. I don't want to get into that too much. I know a lot of people complain about Oceanside not really being around that much because they deserve more. They're a very interesting place, so the show should focus more on them. But I honestly understand that they want to do that because they don't want to focus on too many storylines and all. But I'm hoping that the show will not forget about them and will show them in part B and C. I actually think that that's going to happen. I think the Commonwealth will come to Oceanside and they will show how great Oceanside is. Maybe rebuild it a little bit, give it some upgrades. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm thinking that Oceanside will come around in part B. Um, okay, but I don't think we'll lose many people there. Maybe Rachel dies, some kind of conflict if there will actually be a big war going on in the Commonwealth. We know from the comics that in the comics the Commonwealth is not really that big of a great place. Actually, it looks like it's one of the best places to live at all, but actually, secretly, is a place where they handle things differently, where they treat people in pretty bad ways, take advantage of everyone, and treat them in horrible ways. Just take one of them, cast a lot of people out who don't really serve much of a value, and keep the people around who do serve value. And that's kind of not good, actually. And I honestly don't know how it's gonna go down in the show. I think it will go down pretty similarly, or a lot of difference. Maybe maybe Lance takes over as the new leader. We'll get to that later, but maybe some kind of big war will go out. Maybe we'll lose people like Gabriel or Rosita. I think Rosita's gonna be fine, but just like I said, maybe we'll lose Gabriel, and maybe we'll lose Rachel. I always thought that she would go out as some kind of big war moment with her being a badass, going out some kind of badass way. But honestly, now that would be a little out of nowhere. The conflict with the Commonwealth won't turn into a big war with with the Saviors or the Whisperers. It would just be some kind of conflict that just is there, but not many people will die. I think we'll only lose like three or four big characters, honestly. So I think that these two will actually just be both fine. I actually think that Rachel and Cindy will be both fine. I don't see any of them dying. Then we have Ezekiel. I think that maybe Ezekiel dies peacefully in his battle with cancer. I know that the Commonwealth has the resources to save him, and maybe Tommy will eventually become a surgeon and save Gabriel's life, well, and save Ezekiel's life. We'll have to wait and see. I hope he actually survives to the end. I like his character, but I always thought that Ezekiel goes down in some kind of way, either during battle or in some peaceful way like this, that he dies of sickness. I honestly think that that's gonna happen. That he dies of his sickness and eventually die peacefully in his bed because they couldn't save him in time. I honestly think that that's gonna go down right now. I think that's gonna happen in part three maybe, or he just survives and lives to the end. We'll have to see. Okay, then we have Jerry and Nabila. Um, okay, yeah, what's up with this? Uh, um, I honestly don't know what they're gonna do with Nabila or Jerry. Um, so I don't know what's gonna happen with this. I would love to just for both of them to survive. I would really like that a lot. But we'll have to really see what's gonna happen with this. I hope that um I hope that Jerry survives just like the and they will get their happy ending. They're both fan favorites, so I don't really see any of them dying right now. I always thought that maybe if one of them would die, it would happen during Outlaw War or the Whisper War, but that never happened. So I honestly think they will both get their happy ending right now and just be fine. Honestly, I don't really see much happening. I think that would just be just fine. I think they will get their happy ending and be a glad couple now. They deserve that. And they will get that. Okay, then we have Leah and the whole Reapers and all. I honestly don't know which one of the Reapers are still alive and which are not. We saw a lot of them dying, and we know that a lot of people, they still love them around, some extras whose names is not known. Maybe we'll get their names in the later episodes, episode 9 maybe. But we'll lost a few, and we'll definitely lose a lot more in episode 9. I honestly don't know what's gonna happen with the Reapers. I think that their storyline will be settled after episode 9. I think that there will be some big conflict going on in episode 9 where some of them dies and some of them survive, and then eventually I think the war will be settled between our group and the race. I'm not sure how that's gonna happen, but I think that that's gonna happen. I feel it in my guts that that's gonna go down, and they will have a conflict, but then settle it in peace and go their separate ways. I do see Leah being alive somewhere else than the at the community. So I honestly think that maybe she survives, makes it out alive, and all. That would be very interesting. All pretty good, good way for her to survive, live on her own, maybe with some of her reapers who did survive, and just be there, have their own place somewhere else. We'll have to see, wait and see what goes down. I honestly don't know what's gonna happen with the Reapers. I actually just think that they will have some conflict in episode 9, but it will be settled eventually. And some of them will die. I actually think that Brandon and the priest guy and Sia will get killed. We saw that in trailers that Brandon gets killed by Negan or Elijah, and that's the priest guy and Sia here in the background will get killed by Gabriel. He gets some kind of confrontation with him, and then Gabriel will kill him. We'll have to see what other Reaper will die, what other Reaper will live, but I honestly think they will. I don't think all of them will die. I think that they will go their separate ways and settle with our group. But their storyline will most likely be done after episode 9, honestly. I think the rest of the season will most likely focus on the Commonwealth. And we'll get into that now, I think. Sorry. First, we'll get on to Eldon. This guy disappeared, and I'm not sure if he will come back. I hope he does. And I think that he will be revealed to have be killed off by the Reapers off screen. And then Maggie will be mad, just like seeing Trigger, and kills one of the Reapers. And how it will be handled, well, have to see. It will probably just go down like I just said. But I think that he will be killed by the Reapers, Reaper Field, and then Mackie will be pissed off and kill someone. Or he dies of his wounds. We'll have to see. But I honestly do think that he's gonna be dead in the second half. Reaper Field to be killed. And that's Mackie and Gabriel and Daryl will find his dead body in the church. I don't know how he died. He will be either killed by the Reapers or be dying of his wounds. We'll have to see. But I'm hoping that he will be fine actually because he is one of my favorite characters on the show. I don't want him to die. I really like this guy, so I don't want him to die honestly. But I don't really see much of it in the trailer, so I honestly think that's gonna happen. That he will be dead. Okay, then we have Virgil. I honestly don't know what they're gonna do with this guy. They brought him back for no good reason at all, honestly. So I don't know what they're gonna do with him. What's gonna happen with him. I always thought that maybe he will die being at the one place at the one time, so maybe that will still happen, or it will just be fine. We'll have to wait and see. I honestly think he will be just fine, maybe. Okay, then we have the Commonwealth thing. Okay, I want to talk about this right now, get into it real quick. Tell me if you think you know what's gonna happen with the Commonwealth. We'll have to wait and see, but I honestly think that um um they will go and do something pretty different than from the comics. In the comics, we had some big conflict going on with Commonwealth. We had a confrontation where the Commonwealth turned out to be not that actually good orphan community. It actually turned out to be a bad community where people are not being treated nicely and people are being treated in a bad way, and some people get taken advantage of. Some people get cast out because they don't really see no value to the Commonwealth, and some people do see more value for the Commonwealth, and so they don't get cast out. And so that's a bad way to handle things already. And also a lot of people get killed in the comics. Maybe that will also happen on the show. We'll have to see how will exactly all go down. I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope that will go down in a good way, in a good way that's respectful to the comics. I hope that don't change too much. Maybe it will be done in some pretty big way. I honestly didn't really like a lot of the stuff with the Commonwealth. I think it was pretty boring in the comics, but it was pretty great. But it was kind of how do I say it? I think they could have done more in the comics than they actually did. I'm hoping that they will do more in the show. That there will be a bigger confrontation. Maybe some more losses will happen on the show. I think that will happen with Gabriel and with some other people dying, like Magna or something. And I think that's if I look at the trailers, and if I look at how Lance is doing things, that maybe Lance will go his own way and take over as the new leader from the Commonwealth, and maybe kill Pamela. I had some thoughts about that. I told them in the Dead Predictions live stream, and I honestly think that may still happen, or they would just be working together and be bad leaders together, and then one of them does die, or both of them would just live and be imprisoned by the end of it all, and someone else will take over as new leader. I honestly don't know what's gonna happen, but I do actually think there will be some difference from the comics that one of them does die in some kind of execution way. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think that's most likely gonna go. Okay, then we have Sebastian, the son of Pamela. He's a really rebellion kid who is just terrible and all. No one likes this guy. He's just like Joffrey Baratheon from Game of Thrones. He is a spoiled brat who just gets what he wants and just is very annoying. So I honestly don't know what's gonna happen with him. I hope that he just gets his comeuppance and be treated in a bad way and all. But I don't think he's gonna die, honestly. I think he's gonna be just fine. I know that in the comics, Sebastian killed Rick, and I think, like I just said, that he will kill Aaron. But I don't think he will get executed for that. I think there's just like in the show, just like in the comics, that he will get imprisoned and live out the rest of his life in prison until his death is paid. Okay, then we have the Whispers. So in episode 5, oh, hey man, that's my cat. Um, so anyway, um, in episode uh, episode 5, it was revealed that some Whisper still survives. I honestly don't know what the show is gonna do with that. Will they keep them around? Will they forget about them, or will they settle down in Hilltop when it gets rebuilt? We'll have to wait and see how they will handle stuff. I don't know, asking what's gonna happen. I hope that they will be so fine and maybe be taken into the hilltop, and the hilltop or people will see that they are actually good, that not all whispers are bad. Just like with the saviors and the reapers, that not all saviors and reapers are bad, that some of them are actually good and they can live among them. And they just chose to survive with the people because they had no other choice. I also think that that's going to happen on the show. I also think that some whispers will be taken to our communities and be dealt with in a safe way, and we'll have to wait and see what's going to go down. So I also think that the whispers may be fine, be taken to the hilltop, or the Commonwealth does like these guys and they will be killed or be cast out. We'll have to wait and see. But I think that most of the whispers who are left out there, like this guy, will be just fine. Okay, I honestly don't know what's gonna happen with this storyline. I honestly don't know for sure. In the comics, we only had one Stephanie, but on the show, for some reason, we have two. I honestly don't know what's up with that. One of them is fake or something, and is faking that she's the real Stephanie. That's the what we know from the comics that Stephanie is an African American, and that she has a relationship with Eugene and has a wig because she has cancer or something. She if she dies of cancer in the comics, I think. And I also think that something similar will go down in the show. We'll have to wait and see. But we have some kind of stuff going on here in the show with two Stephanies, and because this we know that this one is the real Stephanie, and this is the fake Stephanie. Some people call her Stephanie because she is fake. I also don't know why we have a fake and a real Stephanie. We'll probably find out in part B. Maybe one of them will die in the conflict of the Commonwealth and all. I don't know what's gonna go down, honestly. We'll have to wait and see. I think that it is something to do with Lance, that this fake Stephanie works with Lance on some kind of plan with Eugene or something. I don't know what's gonna go down. We'll have to wait and see, honestly. I don't want to go into any big theories of it because I don't honestly know what it's about. So I don't really have a theory or opinion on it. So if you want to know more about this, go look on the internet, I guess. But I don't want to get into it too much because I don't know what the show is gonna do with this because it's weird, honestly. So yeah, have your own theories about it. Write it down in the comments. I would love to hear about it. Maybe we'll talk about it in some future video or something. But I don't know what's gonna happen with this whole storyline. Honestly, I think that maybe this Stephanie will die in some kind of conflict going wrong during the combat storyline, and maybe this one will die because of her cancer and all later after the big time jump. So they could both die, or one of them could survive. Maybe Stephanie will actually survive on the show. Who knows? That could be pretty different from the comics. Maybe Eugene will get a happy ending with Stephanie. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, then we have Tommy. I always had some thoughts going on that maybe Tommy gets killed to develop Yumiko more. But I honestly don't know if that's gonna happen still. I actually think that he maybe will be fine. Honestly, I think that he will be fine actually. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, then we have Diane. Okay, Diane. Don't know what they're gonna do with her. I like her character a lot, so I want them to keep her around for a lot longer. But we have to wait and see what the show is up to. Honestly, don't know what they're gonna do with it. I'm hoping that they will keep Diane around. They will actually. I think that she will be fine. I don't see her dying, honestly. I know that some people will maybe die during the whole comic storyline. I don't really think we will lose that many people because it won't turn into a big fight like with the Saviors and the Whisperers. It will most likely turn into something small, some big confrontations with not being many people dying, just like in the comics. Because they don't want to lose too many people over it. So I also think that maybe Diane will be fine and we'll only lose Gabriel or Magna or Aaron, but not more than that. Maybe some extras or something, maybe something like that, but not big secondary characters like Diane. I think she will be fine actually. I always thought that she may go down in some kind of big way during the war, but up to this point, maybe she will be fine actually. Okay, I'm not sure where to place my face right now because we have a lot of characters here. Uh, wait a second. Okay. I think if I turn myself a little bit smaller. Yes. Okay, this looks alright. Okay, so uh, here we have a lot of extras from um the Hilltop and Action Channel. I don't have Marco here. I know that, but I don't have Marco here because I think that Marco is just gonna be fine. He won't die. These are the people who I have doubts about whether or not they will actually survive or live. I don't have Marco on here or Cal because they are secondary characters. You probably don't know them much. I'm a die-hard fan of The Walking Dead, so I know a lot of the extras. I have the fandom wiki page where all of them are. and so I know all of the extra secondary minor characters' names. Uh, Pretty much, I know almost actually almost any character. I'm a kind of a diehard fan, so that's pretty weird actually that I know almost every character. But um, these are the background extras, secondary characters, minor characters, whatever you want to call them, who I have my doubts about whether or not they will die or are actually already dead. And the ones that are not on here also, who are also extras or secondary characters on the show, are the ones who I actually think that are gonna be fine. So characters like Marco or Cal, you can look them up if you know who they are. I know that they are gonna be fine. They're just gonna make it out alive. But we have some characters around here who may or may not die or have already died. We haven't really seen much of Wayne, Cal, this woman, Brianna, Eduardo, Alice, Alex, Nora, William. We haven't seen them for a long time. So we haven't seen them since the attack on Extension with Beta and all, and the hilltop battle. So, and we don't know if they actually survived all of that. I also think that maybe William, Nora, Alex. I think that's Nora, Alice, maybe this woman. I forgot her name. Died. I think her name was Jen. Yes, Jen. I think that these three women died maybe during the attack from Beta on Extinja. I think that's William, Alex, Eduardo, Cal, and Brianna died during the battlefield top off screen because we haven't seen them since then. So that would be the only logical explanation for them for their disappearance. And then we have the characters who are still around, who are still alive, like Vincent, Barbara, uh, Scott, and Birdie. So, what's gonna happen with these four characters? I always have my doubts that they will die during Hour of War, the Whisper Wars, and the backgrounds. But I honestly don't know what's gonna happen. I think that Scott will actually be fine. There are some people with kind of like a fan art going on for Scott. A lot of people like him, even though he's just like a secondary character. He doesn't really get too much. But we'll have to see if he gets some more storylines. I also just hope that Cal or Eduardo comes back around, but I actually think they are dead. Died on screen during the battlefield top. We'll have to see. Um, but if you like a Cal or Eduardo just like me, leave your fan reaction in the comments down below. I think that Scott will actually just be fine, honestly. I think that Barbara may die somewhere during a conflict, just like Birdie, get devoured by walkers, or be just fine. We'll have to wait and see. And then we have Vincent. I think that summer that he will go get killed by a walker or something. But I also don't really care what's gonna happen to any of these characters because they are just minor secondary characters who we don't really get to know that much. So I don't really care what's gonna happen with them. I like some of them, or some of them I just don't care about. Um, so we'll have to see what's gonna happen with all of them. But I think that one or two of them may die in the background or be already dead. Because we haven't really seen them much lately. Okay. Okay, so I don't really see many people on here. Probably because of that bad audio stuff at the beginning of the video. I apologize for that. You guys, I will not have that happen again. That was very embarrassing, but I have everything right now that I want to talk about. So if you still have any questions about what you think or may not die during the final season of The Walking Dead, if someone is still out there, tell your fan theories right now, or else I will stop the video, I think, because I've been going on for a long time, honestly, so I may have to quit soon because I have to eat. So, we'll see. But if you have any questions, you can write it down in the next 4 or 3 minutes, I think. Um, but I won't wait too long. But if you don't have any questions, then I think I just turn this thing off. I had a great time, even though of the whole audio mistake. I apologize for that again, and I will shut about it right now. It will not happen again. That was just pretty stupid of mine to turn off the microphone and not turn it back on again. That was pretty dumb. But I thank my friend Thomas of reminding me of it. Thank you, man. That was pretty stupid, but I fixed it, and the audio is back on. I have told my story, and I think I handled it fine. And I've told what I think I wanted to eventually. I don't know if I have any viewers. I probably lost a lot of viewers because of that mistake. I hope you guys will come back around sometime because I love doing this stuff a lot. So I hope you guys can look past that mistake. But honestly, I'm back now, and I have my audio, and I can give you guys like 2 minutes. And if you don't have any questions, then I'm just gonna stop the stream. And because I don't really have much to say about it anymore, that I've said everything I need to say, I think. Yeah. So yeah, good. While we're into this, and to keep things a little more exciting, as you guys saw, I have some live streams planned in the future about my opinion of the MCU, of Phase 4 so far, and my opinion of the DCU so far. I have them planned in March or April right now. So if you have anything to say about those live streams, if you have your opinion about them, write them in this live stream or another video in the future, or write it in the live stream that we'll have when it comes around in March or April. I have those things planned, so you have those things to look forward to. I also have a live stream planned, which I want to do somewhere during the next few days about Jurassic World Dominion. I saw the trailer coming out, it looks amazing, and I want to do a live stream about it. I have my live reaction of the trailer and talk about what may or may not happen uh, during the whole movie. I really gonna like this film. I think that's the film I'm most excited for this year. And I love a lot of things going on. So I hope you guys there to have your questions and theories going on in that one in that one live stream. So I hope to see you guys there, and we'll have to wait and see. I don't see anything happening right now, so I think I would just turn this off. I think I have everything that I've said about The Walking Dead. I will, of course, have another Dead predictions video when part C comes around, and then we can talk about who or may not die on The Walking Dead one last time. So then we can discuss it one more time, and you guys can have your opinions about it in the live chat. I would love to hear them. But all in all, it's good. I like doing this live stream. I'm going to myself right now because I don't see any questions coming up. I'm hoping that next time maybe some more people will watch it. We'll have to see. Maybe I have to alert some people outside before I do this. But I'll see. We'll have to see. Anyway, this has been fun. I like this live stream. I like to do a lot more of them in the future. If you guys like that, I have 3 of them planned in the future, like I just said. So look out for those. And there's a video coming up for the top 10 best movies of 2021. I'm not sure when I'm gonna upload that one. I want to do it pretty quick because, or else it will be too long before it gets sent out and all. But I honestly don't know when I'm gonna release it because I'm pretty busy with my intern. Um, so I don't know when I have the time to work on it again, but I think I can release it somewhere at the end of February. And then I will focus on the live streams mostly because I am very busy with my intern at the company. So I think I don't really know if I have a lot of time for my YouTube channel. I do think I can do a lot of live streams because that doesn't really take too much time of my schedule and all. Because I still have some spare free time for the channel, so I think I can do my live streams. I'm not sure if I can do my videos, which I have to edit and then upload. So we'll have to see if I can do this. But I will keep doing live streams, so you guys can enjoy that in the near future. We'll have to wait and see. Honestly, I'm liking what I'm doing so far. I hope to see you guys in the future. So that was my opinion on who or may not die before the end of the show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me down in the comments below who you think will die. I apologize one more time for the audio. It will not happen again. Hoping there will be more viewers next time. We'll have to see. But I like doing this, and I hope to see you guys next time. Write your opinion of The Walking Dead as a whole and its characters who you think is gonna die in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And this has been fun. And I'll see you guys next time.